Alright, Oliver. We are back. So we're gonna go straight into match number 1.
You have chosen this foe. Do not disappoint.
Alright, here we go. Straight into it. Straight into the very first match. Oh, how do I get rid of that?
Chance is a fickle thing.
Oh, I have no idea. Hang on. Wait, maybe if I just let it sit there for a second. Alright, there we go, that's good. So we have M18 versus Name Unavailable. Looks like it's gonna be Salak Grot versus Septic Tank for the very first match. It's an interesting matchup. We've seen this happen before between, I believe it was Nami and Name Unavailable. And Name Unavailable was able to win this matchup. So the question is, can he do the same thing against M18 here? So M18 is gonna go straight for the Bulwark. And in terms of how the decks are going to look after this, I think they're still going to be quite balanced. This is the very first match of the best of 5, the very first match of the Grand Finals, the potential first best of 5 of the 2 ones. And it looks like Name Unavailable going for like a fully defensive setup on his characters, having that double guard unit on the dog, having that Tears of the Lost and the Black Diamond Mirror on the Aquarian, plus the defensive trinkets on the Men-at-Arms, and M18's Grave Robber just misses. Yeah, it feels really quite bad. But his opponent still decides to go for the guard onto that flatulent, so now 2 characters are being guarded at the very first round, which is very interesting to see. While M18 just looks at those guards and decides, you know what, I don't want to play into that. I don't want to play into that, so I'm going to do my own thing. I'm gonna do this differently. We're gonna see what we can do with that.
The reveling throne demands portion.
This is live. This is live, Autumn. Nice to see you as well. So it looks like the Flagellant is gonna get focused down here with the Panic Towers, which is really not the usual target that you would see for this Grave Robber, right? Usually she wants to go for the backliners, the characters that are actually doing the work, or the characters that can't really protect themselves too well. But Name Unavailable's team has just come up with this defense that makes it rather impossible for that Panic to go on anyone else. If it goes on the dog, it's just going to miss, right? It's all the cars that have gone down. So we're just gonna go full on aggression against that Grave Robber. You see my ping there. So yeah, this is the first best of 5. Probably should have written that down already, but we'll do that in between the matches. Looks like just this time it's gonna be aggression. It's like that doesn't need to drop any more reclaims on that Men-at-Arms. I'm not sure if he has the Red Secure Hold. If he does have the Red Secure Hold, then he should be relatively fine in a situation like this. Emphasis on the relatively. There's still going to be a lot of DOT going his way, but it's really only the Flagellant on an available side that's being aggressive. The rest of the division being more on the defense. The Men-at-Arms has, you know, he's obviously the defensive support character. The doggy has 2 dodge trinkets, and the Antiquarian has 2 defensive trinkets as well, including that 2 to the loss. So really there's not going to be a lot of pressure going against anything's side, but he's also not going to be able to deal that much pressure back. Looks like he's still going to try. He's still going to try going for this analysis rather than start going for the inspiring prize or something like. So he probably doesn't fancy going too late with this, especially considering that 2 to the lost region is just massive for Name Unavailable, very difficult for his opponent to deal with. It's also live on the Chinese YouTube right now. Yes, that's where we're watching it. We have to watch it on Bilibili, which surprisingly doesn't have any ads today. I remember the last time we watched this, it was kind of nuts, the amount of ads that went by the screen. So the toxic trickery will come down. There is a lot of DOT on that grave robber somehow, even though she has 75% bleed resistance. But that Crimson Hook Flash will just proving to be a little different, and just getting the crits and even the extra bleed chance from the crits and just from the trinket itself. Even more strings being dealt. Honestly, just awesome trinket to bring on that Flash on there. So even if he doesn't get kills through the damage which you want, he won't let his characters drop to that store. Even if that doesn't happen, you should still be relatively okay here, considering that he's going to be dealing stress and that the Crusader is probably not enough to stop all of it. I'll lower the game volume. Alright, I lowered it a bit. Should be fine now. Thank you for letting me know. I am looking at my phone. Yeah, so it should be okay now, I hope. I didn't really have too much time to test because this isn't a Discord stream, it's on Billy Belly. The sound is quite weird, but I hope it's okay now. Is that the Tiger Fin guy? No, it's not the Tiger Fin guy, unfortunately. I'll do with his friends, I hope. Yeah, they are both Chinese. This is the Chinese Grand Finals. It's the very first tournament that they're participating in, and they get straight to the Grand Finals against each other, which is a bit of a surprise, but honestly not that big of a surprise considering how good they are. Yeah, the Reign of Sorrows double crit. David, aren't you happy? Also, nice to see you too, Gonzo. So yeah, more guards coming down to that grave robber. The stress is adding up. The guard from the men-at-arms has changed, or rather, yeah, it has changed to the flagellum, probably because he doesn't want to exhaust his flagellum too early, which is a fair sentiment, especially considering that the men-at-arms, he can take a bit of pressure. He was at full HP, and this kind of plays really well into the regen. You can force your opponents to hit more than one character, making the regen have even more value from that variant. So now the Flagellum just free to continue dropping Reign of Sorrows, doesn't have to worry about Exangs, doesn't have to worry about dropping Redeems for a while, and just the pressure keeps on stacking, right? The allegations. Okay, that's a big panic dart though. There is no numbing instance for that man-at-arm, so he's going to be taking way more stress than usual, and the Rancid Hero will definitely not save him from the panic dart spite. So M18's flashlight drops to this door. He has to go for a heal here, or he might get death blow the start next round. He could try risking it, but he has the accuracy to go for an Exang here. Really no good redeem targets. If he drops this Exang onto that flashlight, he might have enough to make him have to use one of his heals, but looks like he's still reaching out of this door from that once. What did you just notice, David? I don't know what that means. Tong's username might be the Chinese name for MAA. Maybe you're tripping. I think you're tripping. I don't know. Okay, so that's a lot of DOT dealt to that man-at-arms. Is that 20 bleed on him? Yeah, he has the Eerie Eye, not the Rancid Cure. Also, honestly, M18 was probably expecting to face him on the Verbals Oppressive Vestal, right? Have that Eerie Eye man-at-arms with the numbing instance, he would just spam the hell out of those fellows. And this would have been a really good matchup for him, but he went against Septic Tank instead. So now he's having to face the consequences. And this is just a team that has been doing so great this tournament. The Septic Tank is always just there, it just exists, and it doesn't always get brought out, but just the fact that it exists, and the fact that it counters so many teams, and the fact that you have to play around it, and when you don't, it does come out, and it just proves fatal for whoever is playing against it. So he has to guard that flagellum guard wants to save him. This doggy has just been guarding every single turn, and honestly, that's been okay. He doesn't need to do anything else. He can just guard every turn, take the pressure off of whoever's not feeling too good. I don't know what affliction that is, but something tells me it's fearful or paranoid considering the amount of dodge that the man-at-arms has now. Maybe he dodges his L's or two. That would be quite big. He has an act out to cause a bit of stress, so it could be either. And he's just gonna go for more command buff. So that's what he's been doing from basically round 1. He dropped the bolster and then it's been like 5 command buffs. Because he needs that flagellant to hit the grave over the back and also hit the crits and all that. So even at 135 accuracy, still misses that men-at-arms. Or rather, still misses that doggy from the available side. And will he keep the flagellant this sword? Yes, he will. Goes free into another Ring of Sorrows. That might be an affliction coming through. I don't believe there's any virtue chance. Oh no, I see plus 15. Oh my god, she went virtuous. Oh boy, that is big. I don't know what virtue that is, but that is huge. One inspiring cry had been dropped, and that might just be enough to turn the tides of this match. That is a virtue, ladies and gents. Not Stormy today, exactly. Always goes virtuous. I wonder if the Men-at-Arms has virtue chance as well. I really wonder what the virtue is. I have no idea. David, tell us if you saw it. Yeah, you're tripping. David, what's that virtue? We need your help here. You're the only one that can read it. Because it really matters. If it's courageous, she's basically never gonna die. If it's big, I mean, he might hover over her soon. She has 64 dodge still. No acts out. She has 65 prot. Is she supposed to have 65 prot? Nah, no way. It must be stalwart. Yeah, it's stalwart. It's stalwart. Okay, that's really not the virtue that you want to get. Because the stalwart does give you that extra 15% prot. Yeah, you see the death resistance as well, so she got stalwart. But it's still a virtue, right? It's still gonna heal stress on yourself every now and then. So it could be a lot worse than could be a lot worse than stalwart. Could have been an affliction, right? But yeah, it might feel a bit of stress, but it won't be too impactful overall. It's definitely not a virtue that's just going to single-handedly carry the match. It's not going to be courageous, it's not going to be vigorous. But it's still good to have. It's still going to buff her resistances up, it's going to make it so she has no act-outs. And every now and then she's going to feel a bit of stress too. She might resist a death blow or take 0 damage from a fast string. She literally can't die with guard spam. Yeah, the problem here is that the Men-at-Arms, he might not be living too long. That's the only problem. Because there will now be a chance for Nimon available to get the kill here. It will be a 25, or maybe a 40. Might be a 40, and that is a death blow. That is -1 Men-at-Arms for M18 side. Just really that lack of the Rancid cure-all, and the lack of the flagellant healing him has made it so he just wasn't able to beat the pressure. And now it's a 3v4, and honestly, Nimon Available's backline is unharmed, like completely unharmed. So they have 30 stress on them at the most. One of them has a virtue chance, they still have a ton of dodge, and now there's no more command buffs from 18, so this is looking completely disastrous. And Men-at-Arms from Nimon Available's side has to go for an act-out hit on that flagellant or something. He goes for a pass, which, sure, it does help. It does help a bit. But will it be enough? There's only one command buff left on this Crusader. You better make good use of it.
The reveling throne demands its portion.
Now Flagellant will drop to that store heal, we forced to use another one of his heals. But I'm just not sure if I see M18 just destroying that backline, because he's gonna have to spend pretty much all of his Flagellant's turn on healing now, right? He's gonna drop to their store, and then he's gonna drop to their store again. It's just not gonna feel good. So there was no no command buff drop, so the Rain of Sorrows might miss, but instead that gets a crit. So 36 stress, that's still a ton.
At the very precipice of oblivion.
That's what your parents said. Damn, you're watching this stream along your parents. Honestly, I wish I had parents that cared about to go to a circus. Imagine that. Nah, no way. So there might be a redeem being dropped. That would be the last turn with the command buff possibly. Oh, that is a big heal. That is one big heal onto that flagellant. That's gonna buy him a bit of time to use his Rain of Sorrows more. But this is when we really see one of Salak Prot's major weaknesses, which is the fact that it doesn't really have a guard break tool, right? But what act-outs has she had? Nothing. No act-outs yet. Oh, there it is! The 10 stress heal on herself. So yeah, she gets that going. She's gonna cause a heart attack here too, I believe. there shouldn't be too much stuff there for the Man at Arms to save himself, so we might see Redeem finally coming down from Name Unavailable's flash shot. Or perhaps the Man at Arms' final action. Looks like it's going to be Redeem, just a normal amount of HP. He might still be dead here to his L's. It might do just enough damage to bring him down to 0 after the DOT comes through. But even if it does, he'll still be alive. It's only at 191 stress. He still has the heart attack recovery. Clearly Raptures then. The guard is changing now onto that Man at Arms. Oh, he's gonna live. He's gonna live. That Man at Arms isn't gonna die. The guard can just be changed now onto him after the pressure is gone from the flagellant. And now what can M18 do? He can keep spamming the Rain of Sorrows. Oh, it's a double miss. His own Man at Arms is dead. He's run out of command buffs. It's like the noose is tightening around his neck. Can he push the loose off, or rather the noose, make it loose, and potentially make a bit of a comeback here? To do that, he will have to get rid of that Man at Arms, but his team doesn't have a way of dealing with guards. That's how you learn Septic Tank, kids. That's how you learn it. I'm not sure if M18 even has this team on his deck. We'll have a look at it soon, but I'm not sure if he even does. So that Antiquarian is gonna go for, yes, even more Rejuvenating Vapors. He's not gonna let that Man at Arms drop to 0. Also DOT coming onto this flash one, but he's not dropping just yet. He has the extra crit from dropping to 14 HP, but he's gonna decide against using it, probably because his hit chances are so abysmal at this point. So he's just dropping Reclaims onto that Grave Robber. That basically means that she's gonna stay alive forever. She's just going to regen her way out of any sort of pressure. So this means that now Name Unavailable might want to change his focus onto that flagellant instead, maybe try to exhaust him. But he can still keep going for the Rain of Sorrows. The problem is that he only has one target to hit now, and you know, she's going to be regenerating, she's going to be healing stress with her Stalwart, she's not going to have any act-outs at this door, which would really be the worst at this point, but she might resist a few bleeds, considering that 50% bleed res, but it looks like that's just not going to be the case. But she is healing stress, 19% hit chance on that doggy, yeah, that's abysmal. Goes for the flagellant instead. A decent amount of DOT being dealt, but it just gets completely countered by the regen at this point. So yeah, that just the full defensive gamble from Name Unavailable paid off so insanely. You wouldn't expect this matchup to be so bad, right? Considering there's the Rain of Stars from M18, and considering there's the Panic Darts, you can just apply pressure, but also potentially the Zealous, but I think that Man at Arms was just too stuck guarding to spam those command buffs. Perhaps he should have just accepted his fate of, you know, the Grave Robber is going to take some DOT, I'm going to take some DOT, just need to go full on the aggression. But we're at this point in the match, there is still hope for a comeback. That Rapturous Affliction on the Flashball could do something really silly at this point, and the Man at Arms is quite close to a heart attack. If he refuses the guard, being either fearful or paranoid, if you refuse the guard, then you might be chilling here. Also, those passes are being very, very handy for M18 as well. That means there's not going to be too many command buffs dropping, that means that you might get a few dodges with his Grave Robber. So I think at this point, the Grave Robber is going to have 74 dodge, so it's really not going to be worth going into her. But he's going to go into her anyway, goes for the blackjack, gets the hit, and gets the stun too, which is really surprising because she's virtuous, right? She gets hit with a crit. She has 74 dodge, and she just eats all the pressure anyway. Even with the 74 dodge, she has that crit buff over there. She had the extra stun resistance from being virtuous. Septic Tank when done right is a true art form. Sheer effort, persistence, dedication takes for the one spot master grab is astounding. The skill and talent of World Domination fails in comparison to the skill and talent of true master driven spamming. guarding at the precise moment to achieve the pinnacle of comedy by spamming away. It's truly exhilarating. Yeah, this is some massive ChatGPT app, but honestly, it's true. It looks very silly, or rather, it looks very easy, but it's not as easy as it looks, right? I mean, if you look at it just from a basic standpoint, what has Naaman Available done this match? He pressed the guard button like 10 times with his doggy, and he pressed the rejuvenating button I think 12 times, or rather 11. He pressed the Ring of Sorrows button like 11 times, and he pressed the bolster button and the command button like 10 times. So he's just been spamming the same abilities. But you know, it is what works, and he's been using them in the correct order. He has the team well set up for it, and he is going for different strategies when the plan calls for it. He is going for changing guards at the correct time. He keeps spamming rejuvenating vapors rather than trying to be greedy with the fastering. You know, there's a lot more to it, and it's just like spamming away. You have to decide whether you spam your rejuve, guard, commands, or cleaves. Noted. Imagine if Doggy had his own stun trinket. Maybe he would be playable as one of the Mark characters, right? Or at least a bit more playable. There's like one team that uses him, but that's it. There's going to be heal dropping onto this flashlight. Gar's just trying to milk him for his healing. Dropping to this door. I'm not sure if that's exactly worth it at this point, because he's still gonna drop to this, so I'm sure there's gonna be a very small heal coming out of it, but that is losing one of your 3 turns against your opponent's 4 turns. Data mining revealed he was supposed to have one. Oh no, Gonzo and David, they're arguing again. Okay, another stun, and it goes through once more. That's so unfortunate. There's gonna be an Exsanguinate now. It could miss. It doesn't. Lands on that Flagellant. Yeah, Flagellant's gonna be eating a lot of DOT now. Let's go with the guard, honestly. That is a bit suspicious, letting go of the guard on that Man-at-Arms. But it will most likely pay off. That Flagellant has to go for his own healing action, so he's gonna go for the Exsanguinate, or else, you know, he would just potentially die to a 20%. They're discussing. Yeah, sure thing you are, sure thing. So the festering vapor is coming down now. No more rejuvenating vapors being spammed. I mean, the entire team's at full HP, so at this point you just press the other green button, right? So a click coming through on that Grave Robber. She has, look at her resistance. 80% stun raz, 85 blight, 50 bleed, 50 debuff, 40 move, 83 death res. If you add those up, that's, yeah, it's not at 1,000, but it's at least at 500, right? Actually, no, it might not be. No way it is. Yeah, it's like 300 on the instances total. So the Zealous coming through, actually hitting the doggy because he hasn't been guarding, so he's let go of a lot of his dodge. I think that Naaman Available might be jumping the gun here a bit. Now letting go of the guards, letting go of the rejuvenating vapors, just going straight for the harries. I mean, at this point, he might be far enough ahead that you're fine, but I think that when you're playing Septic Tank and you're in a position of advantage like this, you try to stabilize that advantage, right? You just go for the, what do you call it? You go for stabilizing the position so your opponent can't break through anymore, because you still have the 4 defensive characters and your opponent is down on their offense here, so they wouldn't be able to hit the dog ever. There's going to be more festering vapors coming down. That Flagellant is at this door, so trying to punish him is indeed the move here. The 20% does not come through. Will the 35%? Will the 35% come through? And it does. The 35% comes through. That is a dead Flagellant. Decent heal, very decent heal going onto that Grave Robber, just prolonging this match. Is there going to be a 25 back is the question. She heals around stress. And she misses the fearful Man-at-Arms. Oh, that's crazy though. That's crazy. He's thinking about surrendering. Decides against it at the final minute. The guard is gonna come through, so the window of opportunity to kill them Man-at-Arms has been removed. As Zealous goes through, it only hits the Flagellant. It's a bit of stress, but he's still fine. He's probably gonna drop one of his heals. Doggy's gonna go afflicted here too. Flagellant might go for a self-hit. I don't think he has enough regen on him.
The bulwark chips of the mind have fallen.
Hello, Scarlet. Nice to see you. You caught the stream on time this time. Whenever I play full dodge dog, I just get hit anyway. Yeah, and he's been spamming blackjack and carry and he still doesn't get hit. Rejuvenating Vapors coming through. I don't imagine that's enough to save the Flagellant, so... I have some bit of a mishap there. Could have clicked the Flagellant first and then the Rejuvenation. Because the Rejuvenation now is going to be a bit useless. And here he goes for his turn. He's going to go for, I believe, an Exsanguinate. He has the command buff, so he lands it, but no bleed, unfortunately for him. That Crusader is still taking an okay-ish amount of duty. He's almost at Affliction level. Grave Robber is still fine. She's going to drop a big Penitence. If that Zealous hits for 9, that's one dead Flagellant. And with the dead Flagellant, maybe there's a way for a comeback. With the dead Flagellant, his corpse going away rather quickly. The Men-at-Arms just dying somehow because the regen hasn't been dropped in the bit. Also, they shouldn't have connection issues. They're both from the same region. But, well, okay, at least it's still connecting. A desync at this point would be very... I mean, it's probably decided already, right? It's probably name and availables match to win here, but... You kind of want to give the players hope that there's still a very small chance that it's not his match. The guard is gonna come through onto that Flagellant. The Zealous doing only 3 damage and the tiniest bit of stress. And there's gonna be more regen being dropped, of course. The Auntie could win it on her own. I don't think she could, honestly. I don't think she could. If she went Virtuous, maybe, but I don't think she would win it on her own. Keep in mind the Crusader still has his heals for the end of the match and his Inspiring Cry. So he's still gonna be super OP. Crit Punish coming through almost enough, but he is bleeding to death's door now because of that Crit Punish. Are you the one to talk about internet, Chef? Okay, we had a bit of a rocky start, but the internet hasn't failed since, alright. It's been doing good now. I'm not sure what affliction that doggy got. It is kind of important. If you got a minus dodge affliction, this could mean trouble. So now the Grave Robber is a bit of a choice to do. Keeps healing her own stress. She's done that like 4 times. She's thinking of going pick. I mean, she won't call stress with it, but... And then the doggy might just change the guard. But if the doggy guards the Men-at-Arms, then the Flagellant's not guarded, so he might get hit with his Alice. Regen's gonna come through. He might take a bit of stress from an act out. It would be imperative for this doggy to guard. Looks like he's gonna decide against it. He's gonna go for the blackjack instead. Gets yet another stun. It's so fortunate though how many stuns he's gotten on this Grave Robber. I don't imagine they're confirmed hit chances, and they're definitely not confirmed stun chances. And he's gotten every single one. There's the act out for the extra stress because he did not guard the Men-at-Arms. He wouldn't have taken enough stress if he had gone for the guard because of the buff. So now he's down the Men-at-Arms, but he's still definitely in an advantageous position here. He's gonna go punish on that Grave Robber. Lands a hit, even with all her dodge. The extra stress makes her have a heart attack. That could be a saving grace here because she will drop you to death's door. So it is a bit of a saving grace. I don't imagine the Crusader does 12 damage unless he went abusive. But he's dropping to death's door, so it's gonna be really, really hard. It's a minus 10 dodge affliction. I don't think he's been guarding every turn, so maybe it's a plus dodge affliction. Goes for the stun, he's dropping to death's door, 2 characters at death's door. At this point, Inti-Korean can probably 1v2 this. Yeah, at this point, she can do it. I'd imagine. She's gonna go for the fast stream vapors, that's 1 hit. No kill. And the Flagellant, he still has so much healing, he still has so much going for him. Decides to go for the confirmed hit chance rather than the chancey shots to go for the kill. There's no way the Crusader does 17 damage on the crit cells. He would need 2 emboldening vapors at least. So there's going to be a Panic Darts instead. The Raptors could still go for the self-hit. Self-hit would be massive. No act out. Gonna go for an Exsanguinate on that Crusader. Big self-heal. He might go for a heal now, this Crusader. I'm just trying to prolong the match. Doesn't act out for a bit of stress. Great heal though. Only one. But that does buy him a bit of time. Buys him a bit of time for these afflictions to do something, right? The doggy passes. Is there hope? What does beautiful Asian name on the right means? I like the social credit to read it. Probably name unavailable, right? I mean, that's his name in English, so it would be fun if that's his name in Mandarin Chinese as well. But oh, there's the stress heal once more on that Grave, which is probably healed like 50 stress. Content removed. RIP. So Panic Darts goes through. It doesn't really do too much. Another stun's gonna come down, make sure that Crusader doesn't get to use his heal. His heals are quite annoying, they are quite powerful. The surrender is almost coming through. I do this too, I just hover over the surrender button as we go for the final pass string. And yeah, that is a death blow, so at this point it is going to be a surrender. That's going to be match number 1 going for name unavailable. So let's see what the players want to do and get ready for match number 2, right? That's definitely not name unavailable, says David. Alright, so let me actually get the names of the teams up and going. So I don't know what the name of the first team is. So I'm just going to call it Occultist Mark versus Impressive Vestal. Second matchup is WD into WD, so that would be really fun to watch if they decide to go for it. So yeah, it is one match. I will put here first best of 5. Yeah, first best of 5, because we might have a second. We'll see. Jarvis, rewind the stream. So yeah, now we just wait for the players to get ready and then we see what they have cooking. So Septic Tank has already been used and Side Prod has been used as well. So this is what it looks like at the moment for the teams. I'm gonna try to fix M18's deck, because his deck looks like, I don't know, it looks really bad. He just took a picture of it and didn't even try to focus it in on the actual deck itself. Casual racism is casual, uh-oh. Get ready for competitive racism though. That's the deal. That's what all the cool kids are doing these days. I changed the deck. Ah! Immediate application of it. Good. So the deck now looks a fair bit better. Still a bit bright, but that is alright. And that's what the matchups look like. So the players aren't ready yet, they're still readying up. using as many Crusaders, Armors, and Flagellants as you're legally allowed to get away with. What about A-bombs, huh? What about A-bombs? Both players have 3 A-bombs. You're #1 rank on Twitter for competitive racism. You're the pro at it. Yeah, in terms of how the matchups are looking right now. So with no Septic Tank for Naaman available means that M18 is gonna expect either a Strength team or a Damage team. That's really the only options remaining. And for M18, he still has his Occultist Mark team, he still has his WD, and then he has a Strength team, and then he has a DOD team. So we're probably gonna see WD coming out here. I think that's gonna be what M18 goes for, and Naaman available can go for pretty much whatever. The players haven't fought each other yet this tournament, so... Also, is my microphone fine? Yeah, sure, looks fine. But yeah, they haven't fought each other yet this tournament, so you don't really know what they want to pick against each other. They've probably seen a lot of matches, they've probably played together before this tournament itself. They probably have quite the history among each other, but as to how this is gonna go, an Immortal Musketeer is still in the cards. I'm not sure if Naaman available wants to go for either a Strength team or a Damage team, because he has to keep in mind that if this goes to a match 5, well, both players do. If this goes to a match 5, they're both gonna know what each other have, right? So they're gonna have to try to not get hard counterpicked for the match 5. Of course, they'll be able to change the character's trinkets for whatever they want, but it's still going to be difficult to adapt if they leave a team that just hard counters the other. They have to try not letting that happen. But here we go, we're gonna go straight into the second match, so let me just get everything ready, and there we are. Looks like it's gonna be WD versus the Chef Stress 5. So M18 playing his other Stress team now, so he's gonna be out of Stress teams after this match, and there's gonna be a WD for Naaman available side, and it's just a regular old WD, no fancy tricks on it, just seems to be all the regular trinkets, while M18 has Snuff on that Flagellant, and I wonder what the rest of his stuff is. So he goes second, which is a bit unfortunate, but this is still a pretty good matchup for him. Even going second, the team has the Arballs to deal with those stuns, she has the Flagellant with those regions, has the Man-at-Arms to spam the hell out of those bellows. The Arballs is not a very easy to focus backliner, and the Man-at-Arms is gonna go for the guard here actually. Decides against just spamming the bellows straight from round 1. He does have the trinket set up for it, but he also has enough instance to resist the stun here. And does he resist it is the question. He does not, so he immediately gets stunned after his first turn, but that just means a flare for free, and the mark and the stun are both gone. There's going to be a sniper shot crit dropping onto an Abomination, and that's going to be an immediate regen onto him, as you can expect. So, the regen has been dropped, and both players have all their actions for round 2. There's going to be another stun coming through, very unlikely to land, and it does not land indeed. This is because the plus stun resistance on an Abomination stunning instance makes it very, very difficult for that stun to go through. I believe he had 95% stun resistance there, so it would take a lot of luck to land that stun. It would be a 40%. There's going to be maybe an immediate Beast Spile, definitely not a Transform Slam. There could just be a Transform Pass, but decides to go for Manacles instead onto that Bounty Hunter, getting rid of his turn. Very chancy shot going for that, honestly. It could have just straight up failed, and oh, another stun going through on that Man-at-Arms, just trying to prevent the guard from even happening, or just trying to keep his other character's turn. Still a bit odd to see that. Definitely been on to see that, and seems that Arballs has all the regular trinkets, so nothing special going on back there. It is a bit odd how Naaman available is playing this. I feel like he, instead of going for the stuns on the Man-at-Arms, he could have gone for the stun on the Flagellant round 1 to prevent the regen from ever being dropped, and just ignore the Arballs being guarded, right? You could have gone for something of the likes. Now the Arballs is going for a flare just to get rid of that, card there. Rather, just get rid of that stun there, because he values the Bounty Hunter turn more at this point. Both the Arbalist and the Bounty Hunter can go for a finish him. on that Abomination, but the question is, will they? Or will he just try to go for another pull? Each pull that he goes for is only 45% chance of success. So, yeah, just trying really hard to go for it might not be the play here, but his opponent is guarding at the very least. That's a come hither, isn't it? No, it's a finish him. It's a finish him, so the Abomination is being dropped to this door here. That is the debuff we can apply to him. Well, he has it already from the manacles, but he's just going to get healed here back up to 11 HP. Regardless of what that Bounty Hunter did there, he was probably going to get countered by the Arbalest unless he went for a pull. But then the Arbalest would probably just drop a heal and give him even more HP, or just even go for a sniper shot at Bounty Hunter, get some pressure going. Finally, Sheb is on. Nice to see you, Craig. Hope you're here to enjoy the Grand Finals. A very exciting second match. And the bell's will be coming down. Looks like M18's in doubt. As we all know, he has to bell it out. A bit of damage debuffs going on. It was very fortunate of M18 actually to just land both the stuns on that, or rather both the bleeds on that backline when he actually went for the Ring of Sorrow. So a very decent amount of pressure has been caused to those characters. Another stun going through on this Manarams, and it does land this time around. Another 50-50. So he's landed 2 of the 50-50s that he's gone for. Blaring to bellow. Well, he's not gonna have the bellow for a second. So to use that turn. The Flagellant is going for another Ring of Sorrows. This time misses it, but still applies the bleed on that Arbalest. That's the thing, this Flagellant has accuracy and no bleed chance, no hemlock. So using him for the offense here really doesn't accomplish that much in a way. I feel like he could have been going for more regions, but maybe some pressure would go onto him too, so it wouldn't be ideal. But this Abomination is just gonna get healed. He still has the regen on him for another turn. It might be a Transform Rage that we're gonna witness. It is a Transform Rage, so that Abomination is gonna be dropped to 0. You're kind of witnessing one of the problems with WD, which is that Crusader's lack of reach. I mean, he is there and he is good for protecting, or rather for stunning the position to your character, making sure he can't protect anyone, making sure the Flagellant can't go for his heals, or making sure the enemy Crusader can't go for their heals. But it feels like he really needs a character to hit that position 3, because that's who he's trying to focus on, and he's not being able to achieve it. But now this is gonna get really dire here, because Owl decides to go for the sniper shot first. That might be a misplay, but it gets a crit 21 on it. But now what happens? Well, actually no, possibly not a misplay, because then the Arbalest would just ignore it. But the thing is, if she gets a big heal here or a crit heal, that Bounty Hunter won't do enough damage to bring that Abomination down to 0 with his finish him. So he might just go for a pull, and then... Oh my god, that is genius. That is the most genius move I've seen all year. He moves forward with his Bounty Hunter. Moves forward with his Bounty Hunter. He's shuffling. I love this guy. He shuffles forward with his Bounty Hunter, and now he gets to go for the Holy Lance to ensure that he does the 11 damage that he needs to do, getting the reach with that Crusader. And there's no redeem on this. On this Flagellant. He's gone for 2 Ring of Sorrow, so he hasn't been really just causing the amount of pressure that he needs to get his redeems off, to get his big heals off. So now there's just going to be an immediate kill onto that Abomination. There's nothing that M18 can do about it anymore. So the Abomination goes down, and this might be a 2-0 for Name Unavailable, because after that character has gone down, I mean, his backline is kinda bleeding. Sure, but can M18 really do that much back? Because he's done like 50 stress. Now, in total, he's probably done like 80 stress. But for one character dying, it's not worth it. It's really not worth it. But for one character dying, he's dropped pretty much 2 characters to their store for it as well. But I mean, the Arbalest is just going to heal those bleeds away. There's still the Crusader to go for heals. And every other turn, his own character is going to be getting stunned. So it's not ideal. Could have been a trade. Yes, it could have, but I mean, that Flagellant has snuff. He's lucky to even be landing the rains and the bleeds that he's been getting. The bleeds are literally 65 and the 55 each time. So the Arbalist is most likely gonna maybe try to be aggressive here, just try to get a kill back on that Bounty Hunter. That's really the only thing she can do at this point, or just try to go for the enemy Arbalist as well. She's probably just going to heal herself, because not a lot of stress has been dealt, meaning that this match is probably gonna have to be won just through getting the kills and then applying stress. It looks very dire from 18 because he just lost his most important character. He's lost the character that can transform and apply a ton of horror, the character that can go for the piles, that just shreds the Crusader and that Bounty Hunter, and he's done none of it. He went for very, very greedy manacles on that Bounty Hunter. He managed to land one of them, but the second one didn't land, and that's just been disastrous for him. But he gets his stun resistance here with that Flagellant. Also, I don't believe this Flagellant on M18 side has Punish. So if the Men-at-Arms and the Arbalist die, this is going to get really rough for M18, because, you know, with no Punish he can't win the match, obviously. Now, the biggest problem for Name Unavailable here is that he's not going to have his Arbalist turn, like, for a while. I think it might be a bit rushed to go for that action, because now the Crusader just heals and... Well, I guess not, I guess the Crusader doesn't heal. Wants to keep the Crusader turn for perhaps the Bounty Hunter. Also imagining the Crusader heal onto the Arbalist so he can clear the melee debuffs as well, and have that grit buff from the Arbalist to make use of a mark and just one-shot someone to get the pressure going back against M18, because he needs to get some damage going, right? So right now he's just stalling, he's just waiting around, and the longer he stalls, the worse this gets for him, so... it's not all sunshine and rainbows for Name Unavailable, even though he took out one of the most important characters against M18's team. He can still fight back, right? And that's what he's doing, he's fighting back. You're gonna go for the stun here on that Flagellant. That's extremely greedy. That means his Bounty Hunter might die to a 25 very soon. Decides to drop a redeem here early, just to make sure that his Bounty Hunter isn't the target of any unwanted early death blows. And now this Bounty Hunter is gonna have to move forward too. Like, he's got to shuffle. He's got to shuffle or else he dies, but he can't move forward too because that Men-at-Arms has Retribution, right? So even if he moves forward too, he can still get hit by the... what do you call it? He can still get hit by that Retribution. So he could have tried moving forward too, and then stunning the Men-at-Arms! That would have been incredibly based. But he decides against it, so now he's just gonna transform and try slamming it. Oh, he resists though, not having that net. The Retribution's gonna be coming down, and there's no kill, sadly. But yeah, Name Unavailable is cutting it really close here. He has to have Punish. Yeah, he has Repulsed. He has the Repulsed on that team. And he's using it. He went for the killing shot, but he didn't get it. Once again, he has Repulsed, but he has Eerie Eye. I don't understand why he's doing this. Because you can just run the Insignia of Rank and it's going to be better in every possible way, right? When you actually have that Retribution. It's just gotta be that... it's just gotta be that, you know, that use, or just being so used to just running the Eerie Eye over the Insignia of Rank that you just forget the Insignia of Rank is a better trinket if you actually have a single melee still. So the the Bounty Hunter goes for some sort of affliction. I'm not too sure what he got. I have no idea what he got. It's minus 10 dodge though, so perhaps abusive or masochistic.
Compassion is a rarity in the fevered pitch of battle.
A crit Ring of Sorrows coming down gets both the bleeds. That backline just keeps bleeding. And there's been no counter pressure. Excuse me, there's been no counter pressure, right? Crusader once more dropping to this sword. Like, he's gonna... I mean, the Bounty Hunter... He's gonna die here at this point. I feel like Name Unavailable really had to get... Oh, that's a rage, isn't it? No, it's a slam. Goes for the crit slam. Gets it. I feel like that Bounty Hunter really had to set up a mark and the Arbalist really had to get a shot just to get some counter pressure going. Because now all these characters are just kind of dying. If his backline dies here, he can't win this 1v2 because the Final just spams the hell out of Reclaim. The Men-at-Arms will have too much prot. He's gonna have stun resistance, and his characters won't be able to break through those three on that on the M18 side. At least the Abomination and Crusader can't do it on their own. Even if their stuns are really strong, they need that Arbalist to get them down to 0 at least. So it's going to be a Manacles now. The Manacles has reach onto the Arbalist. Man-at-Arms is gonna go for a guard here.
Inspiration and
That's a 40% now. Yeah, I mean 40% sunrise is still not enough. Arbles is at this door. Does she go for the shot? I mean, there's way too much prot on there, right? There's probably like 50 prot on that Arbalist on M18's side. So yeah, just decides to go for the heal instead. Saves this bounty hunter for now. Might be a stun coming through. Oh, goes for the bounty hunter turn first. Is he gonna go count trips into a heal? And now decides to go for the mark now on that. Decides to go for the mark now on that Man-at-Arms and heals the Arbalist to get rid of the debuffs and also to get her out of this store. But the stress is adding up. That's 150 on the Arbalist and 140 on the bounty hunter. Only takes like a crit ring of sorrows, a bellow, and like a couple act outs, and they're having heart attacks. 40% to kill the BH, yeah. It doesn't have suppressing fire, no. Yeah, 5% to resist a stun, sadly. It never happens when it would be justice. A reclaim is gonna be coming down now, so having to relinquish some of that pressure. Also wanting to heal the Man-at-Arms up a bit. Yawus can go for the immediate shot, but she's still dropping to this door, so she can just die. The bounty hunter just... wow. She goes for a weird finish him on that on that flagellant. Just giving his redeem heal earlier, a pass would have been better there, honestly. A pass would have been better. But he can't really go for a stun either, because then the Arbol just gets massive flare value, right? She flares 2 marks in the stun. So he can't go for it either. Yeah, the bounty hunter is just really not in the most amazing spots. There's going to be a Bola back here, knocks the Crusader back. The Crusader can try to heal the Arbalist, but decides against it. If he healed and got more than 4 on his 4 to 6 heal, then she wouldn't be at this store. But she'd probably still drop to this store after the next retribution came down. So a bellow here will be an affliction on that Abomination as well. There's still the chance of a virtue on the Crusader. That's still in the cards. But it definitely feels like Neiman of Elbel has been flopping around, trying to keep his characters out of this story, and that's just gotten 0 shots off when he had opportunities to get at least a shot off to just cause some counter pressure. But now he has to deal with regen, and he has to deal with 4 of his characters being afflicted and bellow debuffed. So the Abomination is going to go for the act out self-heal on the very first turn. Not terrible.
Survival is
M18 is playing it really well. He was in a terrible spot, but he's managed to pull it back. Gets both the bleeds off again, both hits and both bleeds. Both those backliners have 0 dodge, so his raining stars are going to be landing pretty much every time. He's going to be an immediate stun, and it does not go through. No 50-50. The Arbalist is not dropping to this door. Close, no cigar. A lot of stress on her though. A bell might be enough to make her drop once it happens. The retribution here actually gonna make the bounty hunter drop to 0. It's just enough damage after the bleed comes through. Yeah, but that Arbalist could have been dead here. That Arbalist could have been dead. I feel like a bell could have been a better move, because she would take just enough stress that once she clicked, she would drop to this and die, or a sniper shot could come down to try to rectify that, make sure she dies. Well, at this point, there's a stun and there's a mark, so flare feels like an ideal move. Could also cause some stress on the act outs to happen. With both Musketeer and Arbalist, I mean, those teams exist. The Howlers exist with both the Musketeer and the Arbalist, but it didn't see any play this tournament. And while it does have some useful niches, it's not the greatest of teams. It just gets countered rather easily by having those 2 backliners. Any Abomination just goes for a slam, and then the team just begs for mercy, basically. So that flagellant there, eating a rather big finisher, but not big enough that he drops to this store. Could have been big enough, but I guess the LD was the affliction on the... and the store recovery on that bounty hunter made it not enough. Yeah, a heal is very wild. A heal for 12. Can go for the flare now. Very unlikely that the Flashbomb will just die here, that he will get stunned, because he has the Snuff, for starters. He has his very good base stun resistance, and he will drop to the Storm most likely on the stunning blow. So he should not really... he should have an extra 20% stun resistance. Gets hit with a 5, does he get stunned? Very unlikely. And he does! Oh, that's disgusting. That's a 30% chance that the stun went through, and it goes through. There might be a guard happening now, but yes, it will be a guard, but there's two things that can happen here. There's stun on that Man-at-Arms, and there's Zealous. Zealous is a 20, stun is a 50. Goes for the 50, gets the stun. The Flashbomb is no longer guarded. Very fortunate stuns coming down here at 30 and a 50. Unless this Man-at-Arms unless this Bounty Hunter passes, but he does not. He's gonna go for the finish him. It's a 95 to get the kill. He gets it. The Flashbomb is gone, and it is now a 4v2. That Arbalest lives on a prayer, but she lives. She's probably gonna heal herself now. She should be fine after the heal. Fine-ish. If that Arbalest from M18 shoots back, she will cause a bit of stress. If it's a crit, it's an immediate kill. If it's not a crit, someone could cause stress to her. Does anyone have anything to say? Looks like they do not. Thinking about going for yet another surrender M18 at this point is looking really rough. Goes for the only character that's not afflicted, which is the Crusader, and goes for the heal. The Arbalest probably could have gone for a self-hit, and they just lost her life at that very critical point, so... and decides to play it a bit safe. Goes for the mark on that Arbalest on the M18 side. Probably gonna go for the stun too. Oh, there's the heart attack. Yeah, I think the heal on the MA is through the game as well. I could have gone for a flare and then he would have had his turn immediately. Would have had his turn immediately start this round. Could just drop the big heal there and kept the pressure going onto those backliners. Maybe sustained after that. Would have been fine. Decides to go for the sniper shot at this door and still crits for the Arbalest's entire health bar. Because that's fun. It's gonna be a bellow now. That's gonna be an affliction, a heart attack, and almost 2 heart attacks. But I don't think it's enough to get the saving grace here. The Crusader gets afflicted, but we don't know what it is. Well, at least I don't know what it is. I mean, Bellow can definitely get something done, but against the Crusader that's just barely afflicted, he doesn't really have too much hope. Not really too much hope. I'm gonna go for the heal on the Bounty Hunter before there's a self-oof, and that's most likely going to be a finish him, and just an immediate kill on the Arbalest, and it's a 4v1, which is almost unlosable here for name and available. This is because the Crusader, even if someone has a heart attack, the Crusader just drops around into the flame and they're fine, right? After the heart attack, and then the Man-at-Arms has to drop like another 3 bellows just to make them have another heart attack, and this entire time he's gonna be eating pressure from the stuns, or well, I guess not. I guess the Flashbond's getting stunned here. He's gonna lose his prot now too. He doesn't have any prot trinkets. He's gonna go Retribution actually. Hang on, the Retribution here could be massive. Hello, nice to see you, Sergi. So there's an act out, she has a heart attack. There might be a mark coming through, then a heal, and then a shot. That would almost for sure put the Man-at-Arms at 0 HP, and that's really all that name and available needs, right? After he drops to 0, it's just hit, doesn't matter if one of his characters dies. Decides to go for the stun, rather than the heal, fails the stun. Now the Arbalest might just die from the repulse, but honestly, you just accept it, no? I think you just accept it. I'll just make him jump to this door. Well, decides to not do that. But I think he could have just accepted it. Gets stunned and accomplishes nothing. Yeah, she had the crit buff on there. I think she could have just accepted dying at that point if she dies to a 25. Because at least she'll drop the Man-at-Arms to 0, then there's no way that even the Abomination on its own could win. Goes for another stun, keeps resisting. It's like the last hero standing actually has a buff on it for the stun res. Oh, but there's the final resist that he got. He's finally being stunned. He's gonna get shot. It's 17. He's still alive, but he doesn't have the riposte. Ends up surrendering. That's 0-2 for name unavailable. So it's looking very, very good for name unavailable. Looking like he's gonna take this first best of 5 by storm. Google Translate says brutal. Well, that's probably abusive then. He's using menu exploits to avoid the stun. I don't think it's BM, I think it's more like just, probably just trying to get, desperately trying to get a win, right? Despite how clearly lost it looks. Okay, in terms of the teams, WD was used. So this was a good matchup for Chef's 5, but still gets knocked out. WD really is just that strong. So yeah, no more WD for name unavailable. He now has 2 stress teams, both of them quite defensive, and he has Oppressive Vestal, which he's very good at. I do believe he's the best player in the world at the Oppressive Vessel, so I'd love to watch him play some more of it. I mean, I love the way he plays, the way he was shuffling forward that bounty hunter for the Holy Lands, just perfect maneuvering, absolutely perfect, just knowing exactly what he had to do to get the best chances of getting that kill on the Abomination. WD versus Immortal, that's quite possible. That's quite possible. I don't imagine M18 will play the Occultist Mark team just yet. He hasn't brought it out, so it's definitely not a comfort team. Feels kind of like just the team that was left out. And he has played his Mangle team, which is that weird DOT team that he's got going. But it did not work out too well the last time I saw it being used, but it's still a very decent team. So if it is brought out, it can very likely deal with both the Immortal Musketeer and the Chef's 5. I'm not sure how it's gonna handle Oppressive Vestal. But yeah, it looks like it's most likely gonna be a WD game for M18. He doesn't want to go out without using the WD, right? That would be my guess. But Name Unavailable probably expects it, so he might just bring a Chef's 5. Try to get something done with that. Make his final pick unpredictable as well, because if he brings Oppressive Vestal now, he can gamble really hard and just pray that he wins. But if he brings the Oppressive Vestal now, it might be a bit screwed if he goes into the final match, having only the stress teams available. So yeah, now we're just waiting on the players to get their guesses ready, get their teams ready, prepare for what's about to come. Alright, we have a better looking deck now for M18, courtesy of David, so thank you. It is a bit better looking, yeah. I mean, sort of. It's not as bright as it was before. Still not ideal. Mind games, it is the IRL plus stress, it is. Most definitely. What do you mean mediocre editing skills? My computer background is literally yours. Or rather, literally an art that you made. Hang on. Let me change onto it. If I can find it. Oh no, I have to go through the thumbnail folder. Yeah, I know, there's hundreds of images here. I'm never finding that before they go into their match. What do you mean, Justice? That's way too much effort. I'm not sure if I can check how many people are watching on Bilibili. Eight people, I think. I think 8 people are watching on Bilibili. Don't open yesterday's tabs, Shep. Uh-oh. I gotta be careful with the tabs. Oh, they're getting ready. No way! No way! Okay, I won't spoil it, but M18 is picking quite the team. His opponent has locked in his team. Dummy Mommy Hellion. Yeah, we need a Hellion buff. We need to see Hellion. David sees it too. Wait, David, can you send a message in the chat? I can't see the chat. He's searching for trinkets on his other characters because he can't find them. Oh, I love it. He's like, where are my trinkets? You're watching without an account. Same, though I do have an account. Oh my god, no way he goes for that. No shot. What is this man cooking? Do not let him cook. No, Scarlex, do not do that. You have to make an account, it's so difficult. I had Resolution J actually make an account for me. So he used to be one of the organizers. Kinda like the representative of the Chinese community. Oh, his opponent unlocked! His opponent unlocked his team. And now M18 just takes his characters off. Uh-oh. I'm not traceable by the CCP. Look, I had TikTok installed. They already know everything about me. Always was, Gonzo. I'm traceable by everyone. It's not just the CCP. He's gonna play the pain train. I wish I could see that. That'd be funny. Scarlex, do not finish that sentence. Don't finish it. Good luck getting a Bilibili account. They're actually my favorite League of Legends team, BLG. If anyone knows them. The players aren't picking their teams anymore. I don't know what happened between them. The team being unlocked was a bit sussy. So in terms of other matchups, the Occultist Mark team, I think it would lose against Oppressive Vestal, but it would probably lose, but at the same time, maybe not. Maybe it could just kill a character really quickly, if it got a bit lucky. And I mean, it would be a kind of like a bloodbath, honestly. Yeah. Wait, why is name unavailable as Oppressive Vestal backwards? The hell? Was it backwards the other time? Would you rather be spied on by the FBI, the CCP, or FSB? Well, it's not really a choice, is it? Kind of just get a bundle when you go online. You have to go through 261 hoops. I wonder why that number. Okay, looks like Name Unavailable has readied his team again. Oh, by the PJ! Yeah, only real Portuguese people will get that reference. Nah, they're useless, Gonzo, come on. Y'all know. They're literally powerless. By the pajamas. It feels so good when you make a joke that one person in the room gets, and everyone else is literally clueless. That's mean though, that's mean. Oh, okay, they're going for it. They're getting into it. Alright, here we go. Straight into potentially the final match of this best of 5. Holding yourself from typing the slur so hard. Scarlex, don't do it. I enjoy your presence in the chat. Okay. Looks like M18 goes first and he's playing the Occultist Mark team. He's going full on aggression. Oh, that is true, J-Man. It's kind of 135 plus 135. So yeah, he's playing the Occultist Mark team. He has a stun doggy, by the way. I saw the trinkets. He has a stun doggy. And his opponent has a very interesting variation on this Shepstress 5. So still normal Arbalest, but that Abomination, not really too worried about stuns, even though he could have been running into WD, right? So having that extra bit of stun resistance could have helped. But I guess he kind of just dedicated the stun range onto the other characters instead. So we're gonna go for a big grid slam on that bounty hunter. That's pretty much most of his HP gone. And also a ton of horror being applied to everyone else. And having only one real healer on this team, I guess the Crusader, the Occultist is a healer too, but I mean, he's not as reliable as a healer as the other characters are. But yeah, having only one real healer is going to be very difficult, because now M18, he can still mark with his Occultist. Oh, he's just going to shoot immediately. Right, he has marked already, so just shoots that Arbalest immediately, and he gets the crit buff out of it, which is also quite handy. So we do get to go first, so he's gonna get some good going. Is there Harry? If there's Harry here, then that's the kill, it's GG. Did he bring Harry? I don't think he did. I always bring Harry in my Howlers, which is the Mark team with the doggy that has, instead of an Occultist, it has a Musketeer. So very similar to this. 22 people watching at 12 likes. The other people need they need Gonzo to send them A little surprise in the mail. A little explosive surprise. So there's going to be a sacrificial stab that's 12 damage, that actually kind of hurts. And the mark lasts, I have no idea actually, isn't it 4 rounds? I think it lasts 4 rounds. Well, there's just going to be regen onto that Arbol, so he's perfectly fine. And oh, no Harry. No Harry on this doggy, that's really sad. Yeah. Only has the mark and has the Hound's Rush, has the heal. The heal! You cannot have the heal on this dog. You need to not have the heal on this dog. Yeah, it kind of suffers when he's the last character standing, because, or rather, when he's in the mark team, because he needs more abilities than just 4 to really properly function. You end up just sacrificing the heal on him, on the Howlers. You just bring him in 1 and bring dodge trinkets and pray that he doesn't get targeted. Because, you know, everyone else is much easier to target than he is, so if he's having to use the heals, it's probably useful with very less characters standing, and it doesn't matter anyway. So he's gonna go for another stab on that Abomination, reapplying the mark. And this team should kind of potentially hard counter it, considering that if there's any prot, the doggy just marks. Right, the doggy just marks and gets it going from there. So there's gonna be a regen being dropped. There is 4 turns of mark on that Abomination. What Name and Available really wants to have happen here is just keep his characters alive as long as possible. He's gonna try to save that Abomination with every fiber of his being and just pray that he gets the second transform off. Because if he gets 2 transforms off here, there's gonna be the Afflictions coming down against M18's side. All of his characters are kind of squishy. That Occultist pretty much just gets one shot by Punish. He decides to actually just regen out of this door and slam the Bounty Hunter, and honestly that's a perfectly fine move. That means there's no finish him coming down from the Bounty Hunter. There could still be a Hound's Rush here, but that just gets healed by the Arbalest, and then you're in an even worse spot. And then the Bounty Hunter can't really do anything apart from... Oh, he doesn't even have caltrops, never mind. Apart from doing caltrops, but he doesn't even have it. So that's not even going to be an option at this point. There's just going to be a Bellow. That Men-at-Arms, I believe, has another instance. And the Insignia Frank, so the Bellow comes through and applies 3 of the debuffs, which... Not great, not terrible, right? It's gonna be Hound's Rush, decent damage, guaranteed in a chance with that Eagle Eye and the Tiger Finger. You're rooting for M18 just because of the mark matchup, exactly. It's gonna be a heal coming down, it's 12. No sniper shot damage pressure on that A-bomb too. Yeah, he's in 1 now, so he might live to see another day. There's going to be a stun coming down, so he can't go for like blackjack on the Bounty Hunter after regenning. It's decent pressure too, but there's no way of countering that dot on the Abomination. Now a 12 regen, plus the Arbo still having her heals. Might have to change the targets onto that flashlight. That is an idea, but with 1 Bell debuff on there, it's gonna be a bit easier said than done. What do you think of Underdog? Oh right, I completely forgot. Underdog also exists. It's a very decent team. Yeah, I mean, I feel like it just suffers because the doggy is underpowered as a mark character. He needs a bit of love on his Hound's Rush to actually be a good character. But if only the Hound's Rush had like at least an extra 5 accuracy and maybe a bit of crit chance and maybe a 3 bleed, then yeah, that team will definitely be better. Right, that's all it needs. It just needs a bit of love, and it would be great. Goes for a great stab onto that Abomination. He's taking a lot of stress actually, and considering that this Occultist has a lot of extra death blow chance against afflicted characters, that might become a problem soon for Name and Available. But he just needs to keep him alive, right? That's what he's doing. So he's going to continue to guard that Arbalest. Feels a bit unnecessary, but decides to go for it anyway. He's just gone for another Bella. There's going to be a sniper shot onto the flashlight, but he's fine. I mean, there's no finale pressure or anything of the likes. And it's just going to be a heal here. The sacrificial Chris, will it do enough? I mean, I just see this flashlight dropping to this door and just healing everyone up to full HP. But the second transformation doesn't seem to be happening just yet. It's gonna happen like round 5 at best. There's gonna be another Hound's Rush. The A-Bomb's back down to 0. He's jumped to that store a few times, to say the least. He's regenning. He might just de-transform and self-heal for HP, honestly. It could save him. He's still marked for Eons, but no, he's gonna go for the Manacles. And the 65 to get the stun does not get it, but that's still the store. Bounty Hunter has very decent base stun resistance at 50. Even if you went for the self-heal, I mean, Collect Bounty could have done enough. Probably would have done enough, but it goes through. There's no more finish him, but the Sacrificial Chris could still get the kill if it comes down to that. Looks like it's going to be a flash-on heal though, rather than the Arbalist one. So it goes for the flash-on heal. Oh, big self-heal before the 8. It kind of takes away the pressure that could have been the flash-on after an immediate sniper shot or like a stab into a sniper shot. Now it just feels really, really weird here. I wonder what abilities that Occultist has, because if he has Stygian Embrace, he can kind of... Well, he could kind of try saving that Bounty Hunter, but the problem is that there will just be a flare, right? And get rid of the Davis, the Mark, and the Stealth, but yeah, it wouldn't be that useful anyway. There's just going to be a heal. That's 27! That's his entire health bar back, pretty much. That is a huge heal, taking advantage of that crit buff, but there's still the horror, right? There's still the horror, there's still the stress, there's still the bellows. So the stress is adding up, kind of slowly against M18, but it is adding up. Gambling wins again. All's that quote, 99% of gamblers. Goes for the flare anyway. No more dazes. The immediate transform can come down, probably a transform rage, but it's just going to be a stun. True, gamble all your savings. 99% of gamblers quit before they win big. That's the truth.
The reveling throng demands.
Gamble all your savings and put your Circus stocks. Trust me. Put your Circus Bitcoin. That's all we need. Well, M18 is very undecided as to what he wants to do. He's gonna end up choosing to pull that Man at Arms. That means that he's marked, but not really a target. That just means that the flash one has to kind of exist in position 3 for a minute, and it also means that the Abomination is now targetable once more by the sniper shots. Decides to just move forward with his flash one, so he doesn't get hit by a sniper shot immediately. That would be kind of annoying. Goes for the shot on that Man at Arms, but there are 2 battle debuffs on that Arbal, so and the 40 crowd, so it doesn't really accomplish too much. Now just going to be a guard on the Abomination, kind of preventing him from going afflicted as well. That would have been very annoying. Goes for the mark on the Arbal as it lasts for 4 turns, gets rid of the 5 dodge that she had on her, and also does a fair bit of stress. It's going to be an immediate flare, gets rid of 2 marks with that. And yeah, the flares are funny. There's just 3 characters that can mark for M18's side. Feels more like a base game team. Yeah, it feels a bit more like a base game team here from M18. Gonna go for the pull now, and doesn't get it on the mark. Looks like the A-Bomb's gonna go for his turn. He's gonna transform. So that's the second transformation coming through. That's a ton of horror. That's pretty much gonna get everyone almost at affliction range. And it's gonna get everyone at affliction range after the Man at Arms drops like 2 bellows. So once all the afflictions come down, if M18 has not gotten a kill, we will go to a second best of 5. Could have used target whistle on the MEA. Yes, he could have. Yes, he could have. There's always that flare from the Arbalist. But that kind of feels like the move when you're playing with a team like this, is that you just use your target whistle. Decides to move forward with this Occultist because he wants to have that House Rush. The team just feels... it just feels a bit dysfunctional, honestly. Like a slight bit dysfunctional. It just feels way too squishy. Any kind of pressure happens, like, just gets ruined, and it gets ruined by the position, gets ruined by the flares, gets ruined by the regen, and gets ruined by its own fragility, it feels to me. So it's just going to be a reclaim onto that man-at-arms, but he has lost 30 of his prot, so the sniper shot could hurt. It does, it's a one shot, but he will regen. And the fire shot has another redeem coming up, so that's gonna be annoying. Why doesn't he bring Hound's Harry? It is odd. It is odd, but I don't know really. Maybe he just really wants the Hound's Rush, the Blackjack. Well, he definitely needs the mark. But the heal, I don't know. I don't think the heal would be ideal. But then again, he only has he has 0 dodge on that doggy. He doesn't really have any defense, so I guess bringing the heal at this point definitely feels like he might have overcooked a bit, going for both the stun trinkets and the eagle eye. But I mean, if he didn't, then his blackjacks and his rivals rushes would be garbage. So kind of just the character itself not feeling that great. It's gonna be a manacles on the occultist. A lot of damage actually. He's almost at this door now from just the slam of the manacles. All the doggy skills could work for Mark teams apart from the Cry Havoc. Even the Cry Havoc, except it sucks. If it were good, then yeah, but it sucks sadly. There's going to be a shot onto this Arbalest. She has to go for the self-heal, most likely. I think this is a fine trade for Name Unavailable, though. This is the trade that he likes. Because that Mark is going to go away eventually, and they're just spending turns, passing time. I don't think he minds it all that much. Blanchon's almost at this door. He's going to go punish, I think. He's gonna go punish. Oh, he misses because of that snuff. That's massive. It's actually massive. Kind of takes a bit of a gamble there. And it does not pay off. Gonna go for a Hound's Rush on that Arbol, so now she's at this door, believe me. Also a fair bit of stress being dealt to Name Unavailable. Definitely not as much, but a bit. He doesn't go... Oh, here's the problem. Because he used his Flashlight turn here a bit prematurely, I mean, it just has to be a huge misplay, right? Because now even if he guards, the Arbalest can still get shot by the enemy Arbalest. So now he can't save that Arbalest anymore. So just that punish trying to expedite the process is gonna make this potentially a loss. Unless this bounty hunter does something really stupid. No, he causes an infliction. He has to do something even stupider, like doing a 0 damage come hither. It does damage, it gets the pull, but it does not get the kill. Not the worst outcome, not the one that you want either. The kill would have been preferable there. Now the Flash one's just gonna drop a big redeem. After the big redeem though, there's still a sniper shot to drop her back to 0. Even the Hound's Rush could do the trick here. Well, not anymore, but... Usually the Hound's Rush could have done the trick. I highly doubt it can do it. It seems that Doggy has minus damage. That's most likely Fearful or Paranoid. Both of them are minus damage, so... Got a bit unlucky there with the Doggy. He's just gonna go Blackjack. Does he get the 80? He does. The Arbalest won't be able to fire all this nonsense away. This Arbol still has that crit buff, but she's gonna get bellowed here. Or she's gonna be a guard. It's also a possibility. This looks like it's gonna be a bellow, but he still hasn't gotten a kill. All his characters are afflicted, and not particularly happy on the HP department. And he has not gotten a kill yet, and there's still a bit of horror left. Bring the Harry instead of the Mark. No Mark though, that target whistle's a massive Mark. Like, it reduces 30 prot on a 120% chance. It feels really good to bring it. But yeah, I'd always bring the Hound's Harry with that doggy. Just having that chance of hitting people through guards, just awesome. And also a bit of a secondary win condition with the DOT and the stress. So it's just going to be an immediate sniper shot. Is it enough? Nope. It's close though. It's close. That means that a stab will. I would say undoubtedly, but maybe it doesn't do 6. It should though, right? 5 to 9. And it does, but it wasn't a guarantee. I think you went selfish. That's why you answer 20 dodge. So a bit less damage. Yeah, 20 dodge and 5 accuracy buff. Definitely went selfish. Going to be manacles now, which is a bit surprising, but no, actually it's not that surprising. That's the only character that can get a guaranteed kill here. So it decides to go for that, and now it's gonna have to be the Arbalest. She's gonna have to do the trick. M18 is thinking if you can get some better way of getting the kill here. There's 4 turns of mark on her. Could try to go for another character first, like the doggy for another stun or something. Goes for the sniper shot, 70, gets the kill. Big. Now it's a 4v1, but is it enough for him available here? Now he's gonna go for the B-Spile, the first B-Spile of the match actually. And that's a lot of strength that's being dealt to M18's side, and now he has to find the second kill. He still has a mark on that Man-at-Arms. He has 0 prot, that's a big Hound's Rush. He's almost dropping to the sword just off of that. Big Hound's Rush actually, yeah, just that 0 prot Man-at-Arms. Target whistle, massive value. Abusive arm, she went abusive, that's huge. I wasn't able to see. So another bell coming through, that's a lot of stress dealt to the doggy. He's also had a heart attack and the punish is coming. Well, punish or a regen. But this Man-at-Arms having punish is definitely a boon for his opponent here. Quite surprised by that there wasn't a vulnerability hit. I probably would have dealt 0 damage, let's be honest. I mean, against 0 prot it wouldn't, though. Against 0 prot it wouldn't. Yeah, it has minus 90% damage rather than the minus 75 that the weakening curse has, so it usually does 0 damage. Vulnerability hacks. A bit of stress on the act out, really not something that Nimanaville cares about. It is kinda close. There's gonna be a manacles onto that doggy, getting rid of the repast. And also not using more biles. Feels a bit weird. The bile would have been a heart attack there, plus a lot of DOT, plus maybe even a dead bounty hunter very soon. But the guard does get rid of the doggy turn. Or rather, the bile gets rid of the doggy turn. But he would have had to self-heal anyway, right? I don't know, feels awkward to me that he went for the manacles there. But it is the move that he went for. Doesn't have a repulse anymore, so M18 is going to try to punish it. Ignoring the Man-at-Arms here for a second. Gonna go in on that Abomination. He still has the Retros Cloak and the Spiked Fang, so he's definitely a good target. He's very powerful with those biles still, even though he's already used both transforms. It's going to mean immediate reclaim, actually, not a oh. That could mean trouble. The only problem is that the Man-at-Arms just gonna go for a guard here. And after the guard comes down, well, here's the thing. If he goes for a guard, he dies. If he doesn't go for a guard, the Abomination dies. So regardless of what the Man-at-Arms does there, he's he's gonna have to pick, right? Who dies here? Is it could the Bounty Hunter do 0 damage? He's not at this store, so I don't think so. Act out hit on the Occultist. Could have been worse. 6 to 10 damage, it's enough. Now it's going to be a finish him on that Man-at-Arms. So he's probably going to die here. If M18 loses, I'm drunk driving again today. Look, he has another best of 5. Let's not jump the gun here. No act out. And that's a kill. 4v2. 4v2. Can he do it? Does the come here do damage to the MAA? It would have. Against 0 prot, yeah. Against 10. Maybe not. Only 3 Bell debuffs in the Affliction. Yeah, maybe not. But we're not gonna have to find out anymore. Here comes the bile this time around. What should have been dropped the previous round. But that flash one still has 3 examinates, but he has no more healing. If this sniper shot comes through and gets a crit, that's a dead bounty hunter. pretty much. Yeah. And then it's a 4v1. I mean, the 4v1 sounds really good, no? And the occultist can still go for a sacrificial stab if the bounty hunter passes, and that stab's gonna have plus 50 of getting the kill, because he's afflicted, right? That Abomination is afflicted. So the sacrificial Chris gives you 10% death blow dealt chance with afflicted targets, and the sacrificial stab itself has plus 40 against afflicted targets, so that Abomination, they're very likely to die soon. It's gonna be a punish. Oh, is that enough damage? Oh, one off! One off! Being enough damage. So close, so bloody close. That's gonna be 2 heart attacks anyway. Oh yeah, these guys are definitely crumbling, but I sense a comeback here for M18. Why the guard though? Yeah, just went for the guard, probably just praying that the Arbals wouldn't do enough damage. Or praying that, you know, he could save the bounty hunter and the bounty hunter would be more helpful here than the other targets, but because of that, he lost both characters, and now he might just die immediately to a Hound's Rush stab. Right? That could be a thing here, Hound's Rush into immediate stab. The stab won't have any extra chance of getting the kill though. Oh, honestly, he misplayed. He could have gone for the kill with the occultist, and then gone for the Hound's Rush on the doggy, didn't get the kill on the flash one, didn't get the kill with the bounty hunter immediately. Because this team is very unexpected. At least it feels like, oh, that's his entire health bar back again, so that's huge. His opponent, is he dropping to that store? He is, he has to go for an Exsanguinate here. He doesn't have accuracy on it, he could miss. There's 20 dodge and 25 dodge. He's gonna go for the Exsanguinate Occultist, gets a crit on it, of course. But there's still collect bounty, there's the doggy mark, there's the Arbalist here to heal whoever. I mean, this feels lost for name unavailable, because this team that M18 has, I mean, it's explosive. Many crucial misplays might name this game. I feel so as well. I feel like he kind of had a game plan, and then he executed, and then he got a bit too greedy with a punish, and that's kind of where it all fell off. He's gonna go for the stab. He doesn't have the Hound's Rush because the doggy's in 1. How the hell did the doggy get in 1? Wasn't he in 2 just a second ago? I'm so confused. Hits the Arbalist. Shouldn't do too much. Gonna go for a stun. 35 that it lands. It does! Oh, that's brutal. I think collect bounty and finish him are the same damage here. And his opponent just surrenders, so it's 1-2. M18 on his way to a comeback, actually. Who could have seen it coming?
Praise well earned.
So it rages on this best of 5. We're not going to a second best of 5 just yet. M18 still has some kick in him. Doesn't want to give up yet. Can he make it back? So in terms of the teams now, the Occultist Mark was used, but because the Occultist Mark was used, it means that he still has 2 very good teams for potentially the final match. So he still has WD, right? His opponent is still gonna have to deal with WD, and doesn't feel like he has the teams for it, honestly. So I think that now, in terms of the teams that are remaining, this actually looks better for M18, because he has WD and he has Mangle, so Mangle beats Mortal Musketeer pretty well. WD can probably beat it pretty well as well, depends on the trinkets too, but both of them can deal with the Mortal Musketeer. WD has a decently good matchup against Suppressive Vestal, and the Mangle probably has kind of a slightly bad matchup against Suppressive Vestal, so this feels more like a WD game. Especially considering that he can trinket the Mangle however he wants to, but WD has to be more streamlined into just stun, unless he tries playing Stress WD with it. The players had a chance to do that in the previous best of 5, in the losers finals, but they didn't go for Stress WD, they still ended up going for just pressure, mark pressure. Oppressive Vestal did beat Nani's WD, but that was with some very decent RNG going towards his side. And I believe going first as well. Reverse sweep incoming, could happen, could happen. Yeah, Cultist pretty much becomes the bounty hunter with all the afflicted characters. That's true. I'm gonna take the tiniest break while I get some water, and then we'll get right back into it. I'll be back in a few minutes. Oh, I wonder if I have time to get food. I didn't get lunch. Perhaps I could get food still. I don't know. Are we down for some eating ASMR? In terms of predictions, let's have a look at the predictions real quick. I think M18 is gonna play WD. And I think Name Unavailable is gonna play Mortal Musketeer, expecting WD. And leave his Oppressive Vessel for last, because he's very good at the Oppressive Vessel, right? And if he has it for last, he can probably deal with whatever he wants, because he can trinket it however he wants and just play it according to that. You can change your trinkets around a fair bit on the Oppressive Vessel. The Immortal Musketeer is going to be a bit more locked down in the final match, and it's not going to do too well against either of those teams, so he might just kind of accept that this is probably a loss and just try to hard counterpick with trinkets through the Immortal Musketeer. Try to hard counterpick whatever. And then just leave the Oppressive Vessel for the final match, which he's very good at. At least that's my prediction. Eat, man! Get some food! Okay, I'll go grab something. Be right back. Food has been acquired. How's your local cuisine? Well, this seems to be some sort of, oh god, eggplant with mushrooms, plus rice, plus sausages. Not really very local cuisine. Kind of a very modern quick meal. Taco and burrito? What do you mean? I'm not Spanish, I'm Portuguese, okay? No, there's definitely tacos and burritos in Portugal, but I personally prefer kebabs. I love them way more. The Latinx meal, yes, naturally. Oh, they're getting ready. I need to grab water. Hang on. Hang on. Don't start the game yet, players. Oh no, they're gonna go into it. He's looking at the trinkets and the abilities. Alright, they're getting into it.
The advantage is yours.
Alright, and here we go. Oh, I was wrong! Sergi was right.
Your blades.
Looks like it's gonna be WD into Oppressive Vestal, and the WD goes first. This means that the final match, if this is not a win for them in available, the final match is gonna be... what do you call it? It's gonna be the Mangle versus the freaking... versus the Immortal Musketeer, so that's gonna be a very interesting matchup going down. So in terms of what the players are doing right now, because M18 went first, he just pulls the Vestal and then gets a stun off on her using his Abomination Manacles. And after that, the Shieldbreaker has a choice to do. She either goes for a pull, or she goes for a pierce on the Bounty Hunter. She decided to go for a pull. Very unfortunately, misses the Holy Lance there onto that Vestal, meaning that she's not going to be in the amount of HP that's kind of one-shottable. And this Arbos has taken a lot of pressure back, so this is not looking too good for M18, honestly. You can still get a one-shot through the Arbos here with the sniper shot, but it's actually looking kind of bad in a situation like this, because Name Unavailable went for the pull and got lucky enough to actually get the pull. If he had not gotten that pull, this would be amazing for M18, but sadly that's not the case here. Punished for no writ. Yeah, exactly. But you can't run writ on WD, I mean that's just trolling. So it goes for another pull instead of just going for the immediate sniper shot. There's going to be another puncture, I believe? Yeah, another puncture on that Arbalest, and oh, gets the pull again. What trinkets does that Shieldbreaker have? Does she have like double slam or something? Rather, 2 pull trinkets? Well, she can only have 1. This looks like a slam situation though, so there's probably going to be a... Oh, I mean, if there's a slam on the Crusader, there's an immediate Holy Lance. This is not looking good for M18, not after that pull. He had to get a one-shot there on the Vessel guy, just trying to get something going. It's like he's going to go for a Son of the Crusader. The Crusader is just a bit too powerful at this point. There could be a judgment from that Vestal, healing herself and bringing the Arbals down to 0. Looks like it's going to be a duel's advance first. There's going to be a judgment. There's going to be a judgment. There has to be. The accuracy champ, clueless. The judgment is going to come down. I'm sure of it. It's going to be a heal. It's going to be a self-click first. 2 actions, move back. The judgment is going to heal her to full HP, and the Arbals is going to be at 0 and it's 3. No, there's a stun. Come on, it had to be a judgment. Oh, no judgment, no justice, no nothing. I think a judgment would have been cooler. Yeah, because it would have healed the Vestal as well, right? It would have healed the Vestal too. And would have put that Arbals at their store, but I mean, this is a fine move too, obviously. Stun is good. So, gets a crit for 10 there on that Crusader. Pulling the Vestal was not the play, IMO. Oh, there's gonna be another stun. Yeah, I mean, after you pull the Vestal, there's just this puncture action, and it's not been going too well for M18. But he doesn't really have too much of a good target to focus other than that. Unless... we haven't seen these characters' trinkets. I haven't seen the Shieldbreaker's trinkets. If she has no dodge, she was definitely a character to potentially focus. Because it seems like she has... Well, she might have just 1 dodge trinket. Have the net and the monkey's paw, potentially. But the higher... Yeah, she has a net and the Eagle Eye Talisman. Holy paste! That is incredibly based. The Eagle Eye Talisman on her to actually do more damage with her Pierce. She's gonna go for another puncture, for sure gonna be enough damage to cause of this door, and the 70 to pull, gets the pull, it's GG. It's GG, name and available is just gonna destroy WD here. This WD is getting ruined, just beyond ruined. It's gonna be a Vendetta kill. That's a Vendetta kill for the final match! And what can M18 do here? He still has to deal with 2 healers, this Bounty Hunter is in the back. You can go for a Manacles there on that Vestal, but this is beyond the worst. World liberation. Over in a flash, yes it is. It feels like it's gonna be all over now. The Oppressive Vessel just being brought out early, and it's gonna completely surprise M18. Even though he went first with his WD, right? And I practiced this matchup a lot against Silac. It felt like a slight advantage for WD, but that has not been the case against Name and Available. He's just too good at it. He's literally just too good at it. I think what he does is that he has this setup that's more trinketed against damage teams, because he has still a healing trinkets on that Bounty Hunter. He has 2 stun trinkets on the Crusader, so he can get the stuns onto the enemy Bounty Hunters, Crusaders, Abominations, pretty much whatever he wants. And the Vessel has the healing trinket, and this Shieldbreaker pretty much always has net. Yeah, always has a net. Every time you've seen him play his Oppressive Vessel, he's always brought net on that Shieldbreaker, and he just gets the pulls here when the damage teams really don't want the pulls to happen, right?
Now the true test.
The Argos shouldn't have Snuff. If she went Snuff, she wouldn't have one of her trinkets against the Immortal Musketeer, but honestly, I don't know, with Snuff this match would have been won. That's just truth. With Snuff, you never would have lost this match, but yeah, it's going to be a stun now onto that Crusader. The Vestal still not at this door. Wait, she doesn't have Judgment, she has Bonk. What? Why no Judgment? Why Bonk? I'm so confused. Maybe a final action against the Mangle team? If the Fragile was the only one remaining? Very odd not having the Judgment in a situation like this. Maybe he just thought that the stun would always be better against the opponents he was facing. Against the teams he was facing, right? But still very weird to me. Yeah. Bonk and the Eagle Eye Talisman on that Shieldbreaker. Oh, the move forward, that's just gonna get met with a puncture. It's so doomed. The puncture does not get the kill, does he get the pull? And I mean, even if you move forward, you still put the bounty under opposition. Oh, now there's a Wicked Slice. That feels like a Wicked Slice. No, goes for the open vein, why? Is that a misclick? I don't know why he goes for the open vein, but I mean, his Abomination is at 4, his Crusader is stunned. His opponent still has 2 heals. This match is lost. He's just going to have to accept that the first best of 5 is a loss, and he's gonna have to mop the blood, collect the teeth, and do better. The second best of 5, right? M18. Because he came from the winner's bracket, Name and Available came from the loser's brackets, but this is looking very exciting. They're gonna go into a second best of 5. Because that is a win for Name and Available. I'm not sure if they can play the second best of 5 today. I hope they can, but I'm not sure. They said they might not have the time. I really hope they do, though. Our half of the bracket versus M18's half. Yeah. Oh, he leaves the game. Looks like they don't have the time for a second best of 5. Yeah, they don't have the time. Well, looks like that's gonna have to be it then. The second best of 5 will happen tomorrow, most likely. Hello, Azer. We're just about to leave. I'm just asking the players for confirmation because I don't know, maybe they're taking a 15-minute break and then they play, but I doubt it. That's probably way too late for them. Very unlucky, Azer. You were sleeping, you missed the stream. What do you mean you were sleeping? It's 4 p.m. where you live. So they're not replying. Oh, I think they're gonna reply now. It's 10 p.m. TBH, maybe they can still play. I mean, tomorrow is a Sunday. What do you know about this thing called a nap? Oh, M18 can't play tomorrow. Uh-oh. What do you mean napping? That's for EP people, Scrake. We're not EP here, we're Butcher Circus gamers. Well, I don't know if they're gonna be able to play that. Might be next week or something, but we're gonna call it here. You watched almost all the stream awards. Well, you get a moderator role for that. What do you think? Surely I should give you a moderator role. Here where I live, I say, who sleep catches no fish? Who sleeps catches no fish? That's probably translated oddly, but makes sense. You're helping a tech illiterate dude with his computer. You got exhausted from that. That's fair, that's fair. Well, feel free to watch it back, the matches were quite exciting. This last one was so quick, but yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna have my lunch now. Hope y'all enjoyed today's stream. I'll let you know when the next, the second best of 5 and the actual grand finals happens. And thank you all for joining, and I'll see you about next time. Cheers!